Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. How is everybody today? I am doing great. Thank you. Yeah, KBP, you're right. Every joke that you make happens the next day. You have the gift of prophecy, and I'm going to need you to do a better job with it. Okay? This powerful, amazing superpower that you have, I'm going to need you to do a better job. You fucking up. Okay? And I think this is all your fault. Anyway, hi. How's it going? Um, Nice bright sunny day outside, and that distracts my camera. It fucks everything up, but that's what I've got to deal with. I got two fun stories about last week to talk to you about, and then we've got the news and the politics to talk about and all that fun stuff. So last week I was in Michigan. It's a place. Look it up. And I was doing very important, very serious business, and I was at a bar eating chicken wings when the lady behind the bar says, "You look like that guy from the Game of Thrones." And I was like, "What guy?" They were like, "Joffrey?" Yeah, I get that a lot. And she's like, "Ha, no, the guy with the thing and the horses." And I was like, what is she talking about? I don't think I look like any of the people from Game of Thrones. But then the conversation moved on. She went to help some other customers. She comes back. We never got back to the conversation, and she never I never figured out who she was talking about. The guy with the horses and whatnot. So that bothers me. That bugs me. So I go to the internet after I leave the bar and look it up. And maybe she meant Jorah Mormont. That's the best I could guess. Where are you? Webcam screen. There you are. Why aren't you showing the thing? Press the button. Press the button. Where's the button? Window capture. Here we go. Do. Oh, I didn't have it up on the screen. Did that work? Yeah, it did. Maybe that guy? Maybe that's who she's talking about. I'm not entirely sure. I could almost see it. Like that one right there. Look at that one right there. Maybe. That somewhat looks like me? I don't know. Does that? I don't think I look like that. Do I? I don't think so. I think she's crazy. But that bothered me, and it made me wonder, who the hell is she talking about? Maybe right there. Maybe that one. Almost, he's got a scraggly beard, and he's going bald on top. Yeah, that may be. I mean, he's a white guy. I'm a white guy. Almost. No? I don't know. I'm just saying. That's just a thing that happened to me, and now I'm sharing it with you. And now you get to think about it. So think about that. Then, second important story. Maybe she's the best troller. Maybe she just does that to everybody to mess with their head. Hey, KBP, you look like that guy from Game of Thrones. The guy that had the thing happen to him. He wore a shirt one time. Yeah, you remember him. And then you got to think, and you'll be like, "Oh man, what is she talking about? What is Waldo talking about? What's going on? Who do I look like?" I don't think that makes any sense at all. Anywho, what was the other thing what happened? So I was out there. Yeah, Hodor. Yeah, maybe Hodor. Maybe that was it. Maybe I just look like Hodor. I guess that could work too. Maybe I look like Hodor. Okay. Maybe she was talking about Hodor. I never even thought about that. Hodor. Okay. Keep calm and hold the door. Yeah, maybe that was it. Second thing, what had happened while I was in Michigan is I was warming up my car. I was sitting out there. I was sipping some coffee, and off to the left, in a field, I saw two Canadian geese, and they were sizing the place up. They were doing recon. Okay, the Canadian geese were there checking us out. Okay, they were eyeballing us. They were doing recon. They were trying to look at traffic patterns, emergency response times. They had a little notebook and a pencil, and they were taking notes. Okay, these two Canadian geese. They were determining. Yeah, they were checking us out. They were doing field work for the coming invasion. if we go to war with Canada, and we might. Michigan will be the front line of the Canada war. And I saw them. I started looking at them, okay, because that's what you got to do to spies, is you got to look at them. I looked at these two Canadian geese, and they noticed me noticing them. And then we locked eyes. I locked eyes with the Canadian geese, and they were like, uh-oh, I think this guy sees us. And they packed up their little notebook and their little pencil, and they flew north. I'm on to you, Canadian geese. I am aware that you are watching. So that's what happened in Michigan. That's what I did all week. It's early, but there is a puppy dog. You probably saw him down in the corner down here. But there's a puppy dog right next to me. I'm going to grab the puppy dog. He's wearing a shirt. He's adorable. This is Bobo, the baby bark boy. He is adorable, and he wears shirts. He likes shirts, yeah? You like shirts. Big yawn. Good job, Bobo. Everybody loves Bobo. Hi, Bobo. Bobo, say hello to the people. So, yeah, he's shaggy, but we like it, and it's cool. And if he starts to barking, you'll know why. This is Bobo, the baby bark boy. That's what he does. He barks. Oh, tangled on the cord. All right. Yeah, he's flying co-pilot today, sitting up there on the back of a reclining chair, eyeballing me, wondering why I'm talking to myself. He doesn't get it. There he is. See? He hears a sound. So, yeah, that's the thing. Let's talk about the news. We've preambled long enough. I'm goofing around, just having a good time. You're here for the politics. I know you. I see you. Bobo is effortlessly cool. Yeah, it's true. He doesn't even have to try. And he gets to just be cool. He's going to go investigate the noise outside. I think there's somebody doing street work outside, which will cause a lot of barking. So I hope you're prepared for that. I'm not. Let's look at the news. I have my tinfoil hat ready because that's where we're starting today in the tinfoil news. We're starting today with tinfoil news. It's a good time. It's a bad time, actually, to be a tinfoil hatter because guess what? They got bad news. They got some bad news. Let's take a look at it. Conspiracy theorists melt down over White House dud Epstein files stunt. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi had touted the release of documents pertaining to the late sex offender that it turns out were already made public. So Pam Bondi promised, and Donald Trump and all of his followers, Kash Patel included, promised to put out the Epstein files. Dun, dun, dun. Very important, very, very real thing. And what they put out was shit that had already been put out. Documents that we already had. Things that had already been released. Old news. Because I'm gonna I might make some conspiracy theorists mad. They're full of shit. The conspiracy theories are usually nonsense. Reality does not agree with conspiracy theory. I know, this is shocking. We already know pretty much everything we can know about Epstein, everything that has been put together, everything that has been released. We have. There's not some secret bombshell going to drop. And I'll come back on stream and apologize if some actual, legitimate, real secret bombshell drops. But as it stands right now, there is no secret bombshell. There is no amazing thing that's just hidden just beyond the classification process. Pam Bondi and Kash Patel are not going to go and find the absolute secret document that makes everything that the conspiracy theorists have been saying for 20 years true. It's not going to happen. The world is a much more boring place than conspiracy theorists think that it is. They've got wild ideas about how complicated and exciting and dramatic the world actually is, but it's not. The world's a boring place. And that's why they need the conspiracy theories anyway, is because bad people doing bad things to make themselves rich isn't exciting, usually. Bad people criminals doing crimes to make themselves feel better isn't all that exciting. You need an evil cabal who's masterminding and puppeteering the entire process. That's exciting. That's somebody you can fight against, but it's not true. It's not real. I used to be a conspiracy theorist until I got better. You can get better too. If you were anxiously awaiting this, you can get better too. Step away from it. Give it a few weeks. Look at reality. And you can get away from it. You can become better. Publicizing already public documents, but with even more redactions. Yeah, exactly. They had more redactions than normal. So let's keep reading. Let's read what this says. Let's go. Conspiracy theorists, amateur investigators, and online cranks of all sorts were livid today as they came to realize the documents related to the late pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, released by the Trump administration in a highly publicized spectacle, contained zero new information. Despite promises of bombshell revelations, the shock resembled nothing so much as Charlie Brown's surprise when Lucy pulls the football out from under him yet again. Keep losing, conspiracy theorists. You keep losing. Quit doing it. Largely overlooking Trump's own long and well-documented friendship with Epstein, the wealthy financier who died by suicide in 2019 after he was arrested and charged with sex trafficking of minors. The president's conspiracy supporters have spent years clamoring for supposed materials providing that liberals and Democrat politicians were clients of his sex trafficking operations, potentially targets of alleged blackmail schemes. There is yet no evidence that such a list exists. No evidence, but that doesn't stop them from theorizing. But that has left MAGA diehards, particularly those with a paranoid worldview, informed by a QAnon-style fantasies of a secret child abuse cabal, to run wild with speculation about names that they believe will appear on the so-called Epstein list whenever it becomes public, in an attempt to satisfy their unrealistic demands alongside the declassification of files related to the assassination of JFK, Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. The White House and U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi hyped the release of Epstein files they claimed would shed more light on his crimes. Bondi teased the document drop last week, saying that she had them on her desk and on a Wednesday evening stopped by Fox News to announce that the pretty sick documents, which contained a lot of information, would be out on Thursday. In addition to posting the files online, the Justice Department printed and bound them in binders, labeled the Epstein Files Phase 1, which it then distributed to a handful of loyalist Trump world influencers and misinformation superspreaders, including the individuals behind the far-right X account DC Drano, the libs of TikTok, and Pizzagate promoters like Mike Cernovich, the Nazi, Jack Posobiec, the Nazi, and former AON anchor Liz Wheeler, the Nazi, who recently suggested that COVID-19 vaccines, blah, 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 blah. President J.D. Vance, the Nazi, Kash Patel, the Nazi. There's a lot of Nazis in this story. Let's see. This information has been public since 2015. Julie K. Brown, who has covered the Epstein case in painstaking details for years at the Miami Herald, pointed out on X that you can currently buy a copy of the notorious Little Black Book, which includes entries for Trump, Prince Andrew, Alan Dershowitz, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and Alec Baldwin, among many other recognizable names on Amazon. We already have this information. We already know these things. So what did they release? Nothing. Representative Anna Paulina Luna, I don't know her, but I'm going to assume she's a Karen, chairwoman of the House Task Force on the Declassification of Federal Secrets, was among the first to cry foul. So I, nor the task force, were given any or reviewed the Epstein documents before being released today, she said on X. Just revealed that the documents will simply be Epstein's phone book. This is not what the American people asked for, and complete disappointment. Get us the information we asked for. Honey, listen. Anna, listen. The information doesn't exist. It's not real. They can't give you things that don't exist, and that is the problem. She doesn't know that it doesn't exist. She has imagined it for so long that she knows it's real. Conspiracy theorist Laura Loomer, the Nazi, was similarly incensed at what she saw as an empty stunt. The binders are props, she raged on a post on X. Every single one of the right-wing paid influencers lied to all of you today. They engaged in a deception to run cover for pedophiles. Laura Loomer is an idiot, but she's so very close to the actual truth. Right-wing stunt liars lie to you on a regular basis, and then you just keep coming back for more. If they say a thing that makes you feel good, you'll come back for more. And then they need to lie some more. They need to lie a little bit more. This is the problem Alex Jones ran into. He was, and always has been, a conspiracy theorist. But back in the 90s, he was complaining about the government. He would take a actual complaint you could have about the government and then add a little bit of conspiracy paint to it. Folks, this bill for the this appropriation bill that the Senate has passed is paying money to this group and that group, and they're taking this stuff and they're stealing from you, they're stealing from your taxes, and they're doing all these things. You know, he would just paint it on a little bit. But as the people, it's like drugs. As you get a little bit of that, it feels good, and then you want more, and then you need two. Obama's a Marxist communist born in Kenya, so you need a little bit more. You need a little bit more. Hillary's got a kill list a mile long. You need more, so give me more. And then he starts pushing things that are untrue about the mass shootings, and then he gets in trouble, and then he gets legally in trouble for saying things that are demonstrably not true and harming people. Who's the other one? Glenn Beck did this as well. Glenn Beck went through the same thing. You have to keep amping it up. You have to amp 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 it up until it gets so high that you fall and you crash. This is exactly what's happening. Glenn Beck did the same thing. He was complained about a thing, and then he got more hits because of the conspiracy thing, and then he talked more conspiracy stuff, and then you have to amp it up, and then you get Pizzagate, and then you get hundreds of thousands of missing children that have been stolen by Jeffrey Epstein. And it's just not true. It's not related to reality. It's not connected to the real world anymore. And then you get flat earth, and then you're at flat smacking people. And then you have goobers who are telling you that the world is flat, and they'll draw you an entire diagram. It's a slippery slope. Don't slide down. Don't start on it. Let's keep reading. While a few influencers dutifully tried to spin the documents and the binders as meaningful disclosure, they were met with harsh criticisms of how the rollout had been handled and irate questions as to why Bondi had not made them available online, even though she had. Why didn't you put these online? Well, she did. Chaya Raichik, the Nazi, the woman behind Libs of TikTok, worked with Loomer to scan and upload them to a file sharing site while Loomer continued to falsely attack Bondi for not putting them online. Okay. And observing that she had been the state attorney general when Epstein's flight logs when Epstein was doing his stuff. Pam Bondi was the attorney general. Maybe she could have done something about it, but she didn't. Wheeler, meanwhile, was candid as to what a letdown the binder had been. We're all waiting for the juicy stuff. Waiting for the juicy stuff. She said in a live stream about the court documents pertaining to the sexual abuse of hundreds of underage girls. And that's not what's in the binder. That's not what's in the binder at all. And that's exactly how the attorney general presented it to us. You should feel frustrated. Wheeler needs the juicy stuff. She needs all that drama. She needs those drama llamas, baby. I'm going to say some things that might be considered sexist, and it might get me in trouble. Women need 3 things to survive: sustenance, air, water, food, that kind of thing. So that's sustenance. Shelter, a place to live, and drama. I'm sorry. Those are the 3 things women like Wheeler need. Every woman needs a different amount of drama, based on their personality and what they have and how they were raised and stuff like that. Some can usually just get it naturally through their life. The bitch at work, the bitch at the school board meeting, the bitch they ran into at the gas station. That kind of drama. if you've ever met a woman, this is what they talk about. Then the ones who can't need a little bit more watch TV dramas. They watched the horrible nightmare murders on True TV. They watch the videos and the YouTube videos and the true crime podcasts. You need that drama. Wheeler needs drama, and she is so high up. Her what's the word? When you get desensitized to certain drugs. She's an alcoholic. Alcoholics can drink a lot more than a regular person, right? She's an alcoholic for drama. She's a dramaholic. She needs so much drama. She needs all that hard drama. She needs lots and lots of it. Just arguing about the bitch at work ain't enough for her anymore. Just complaining about the lady at the gas station who cut her off isn't enough for her. She needs hard drama. She needs sexual abuse of hundreds of underage girls to make her feel anything anymore. This is the end state for any conspiracy theorist. You need more. You need a stronger dose. You need more drugs. You need a stronger dose. You need a bigger hit. You need more. You need more. You need more until you're a shell of what you used to be. You're not a human anymore. You're just a drama addicted shell of a person. And then you start a YouTube page and you start a YouTube channel, and you push all these ideas out on X and things like that, and then you get an audience, and then they feed you and they pay you, and then you spread some more, and then you become people like Alex Jones and Glenn Beck. That's how they got to where they are. They said crazy things. Somebody put them on TV. They said the crazy things into a camera, and then people started paying them, so they started saying more crazy things, lots more crazy things, upping the ante, upping the crazy every single time until they crash. So that is what happened with the Epstein files. And conspiracy theorists keep losing. Sucks to be one. Don't be one. I think that's my message. Stop, take off the hat. It's so warm, and it makes me sweat. God, they're so warm. Anyway, you shouldn't want to wear those hats. They're too hot. They're too warm. They cook my brain. So yeah, that was fun. What else is in the news? If you're paying attention, hop in the chat, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling. Go on over to the Discord. Going over there, there's the Discord. You can go there. You can leave links for me to follow. I will bring them up on screen. We'll talk about it together. It'll be a good time. You can argue with people who are also in there. You can tell me that I'm an idiot. You can. Really, the only rule at the Discord is don't be annoying. And I am the entire ultimate arbiter of what's annoying to me. You can go there and you can annoy KBP. That's fine. I don't care. You can go there and you can annoy Souls. I don't care. As long as you're not annoying me. Okay, that's the only rule. And I get to decide what annoys me. So have fun with that. Going over to the YouTube page. Right there. There's the YouTube link. You can go there and watch old links, watch the old streams. You can watch all the streams because I leave them up there. You can watch them uninterrupted, or you can just go to the videos page. I'll take each little segment into tiny little bite-sized chunks, and you can watch them there. And I'll edit them and sometimes add funny photos and some music, or I don't know. I have a software that takes out all the uhs and the ums and stuff like that and all the pauses. So that's fun. Let's read some politics news. Some things happened, right? Some things did happen. Hey, look, Donald Trump's first cabinet meeting. This is a shit show. Now, do cabinet meetings usually get broadcast? No, they don't. But Donald Trump is the TV president, so he must put everything he can on TV, or else it didn't happen. Joe Biden also couldn't really talk very well. That's part of your problem. Dems, listen. Put people who are good at talking into positions of power and authority. That way, when they talk, people like it. Little free little bit of political advice there. Donald Trump loves talking into a camera. It's his jam, baby. That's his bag. He loves it. He loves talking into a camera, even if he doesn't know what he's talking about, which is most of the time and most of the things. So we're just going to watch the first little bit of this first cabinet meeting. Usually it's not on TV, but we are because he's a celebrity president, and you'll never guess who's standing above all of these people, just off to the side. I bet you can guess, but let's watch.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you being here, and we've put together a great cabinet. And
also, I can't do anything about the buzzing sound. I'm sorry. They suck so much. This is the one that has the least amount of room buzz. Audio is very, 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 very hard. I'm not mad at them for that, but they are professionals. They should be better at audio. I'm a goober, and I can't get audio right. That makes sense.
We've had tremendous success. We've been given a lot of credit for having a very successful first month, and we want to make that many months and years, actually. But we're going to have many good months, and we're going to have many good years, I hope, and we're going to solve a lot of problems. We're doing very well with Russia, Ukraine.
No, you're not.
President Zelensky is going to be coming on Friday. That's now confirmed, and
we'll talk about that in a minute. That's the next thing we'll talk about.
We'll be signing an agreement, which will be a very big agreement. And I want to thank Howard and Scott for the job you guys did in putting it together. Really did an amazing job. And that'll be on rare earth and other things. And as you know, we're in for probably $350 billion. Europe is in for $100 billion. And that's a big difference. So
that number is a lie. He says this whole, we've given Ukraine $350 billion. That's stupid. No, we haven't. We have given them $90 billion worth of equipment, bombs, missiles, tanks, shit to shoot at Russia, $90 billion. And we have promised them $90 billion more. That makes $180 billion. $350 billion is a number he made up because he's a liar.
We're in for probably 3 times as much, and yet it's very important to everybody, but Europe's very close. We have a big ocean separating us, so it's very important for Europe, and they hopefully will step up and do maybe more than they're doing, and maybe a lot more. The previous administration put us in a very bad position, but we've been able to make a deal where we're going to get our money back, and we're going to get a lot of money in the future, and I think that's appropriate because we have taxpayers that shouldn't be footing the bill. And they shouldn't be footing the bill at more than the Europeans are paying. So it's all been worked out. We're happy about it. And I think that very importantly, we're going to be able to make a deal. Most importantly, by far, we're going to make a deal with Russia and Ukraine to stop killing people. They'll stop killing young Russian soldiers and young Ukrainian soldiers and other people in addition in the towns and cities.
All the people.
And we will consider that a very important
I was worried
thing
that maybe they'd continue killing the old soldiers.
It was going nowhere until this administration came in. They hadn't spoken to President Putin in 2 years.
Because he's the bad guy.
We'll keep you advised. Before we begin the cabinet, I'd like to have Scott and a couple of people say a few things, but most importantly, where are you? This is a gentleman who's going places, the head of HUD, and he's going to say...
No, we're going to skip ahead of this.
And you're going to say grace?
So over here, we're going to skip all that.
And
there he is.
A lot of praise, I'll tell you. But he's
the
also
president,
hit,
standing
and,
above them all. Elon Musk.
That's the way it works. So I'd like to have Elon Musk please say a few words.
Well, thank you, Elon. Thank you, Mr. President. I actually just call myself a humble tech support here.
He's so funny, guys. He's just tech support.
That
he's dumb.
Almost a literal description of the work that the Doge team is doing, is helping fix the government computer systems. Many of these systems are extremely old. They don't communicate. There are a lot of mistakes in the systems. The software doesn't work. So we are actually tech support. It's ironic, but it's true. The overall goal here with the Doge team is to help address the enormous deficit. We simply cannot sustain as a country $2 trillion deficits. The interest rates, just the interest on the national debt now exceeds the Defense Department spending. We spend a lot on the Defense Department, but we're spending like over $1 trillion on interest. If this continues, the country will become de facto bankrupt. It's not an optional thing, it is an essential thing. That's the reason I'm here.
And his plan to combat that is to fire people who are making less than $100,000 a year. This is amazing.
And taking a lot of flack, and getting a lot of death threats, by the way. I mean, I like to stack them up, you know. But if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt. That's why it has to be done. And I'm confident at this point, knock on wood, you know, knock on my wooden head, there's got a lot of wood up there, that we can actually find $1 trillion in savings. That would be roughly 15% of the $7 trillion budget. And obviously that can only be done with the support of everyone in this room. And I'd like to thank everyone for your support. Thank you very much. This can only be done with your support. So this is really, Doge is a support function for the president and for the agencies and departments to help achieve those savings and to effectively find 15% in reduction in fraud and waste. And we bring the receipts. So people say, like, well,
you have not brought any receipts, Elon. None. Zero. Even the things on your email website are lies.
It's real. Just go to doge.gov.
We're gonna
line item by line item. We specify each item. So, and I should say, we will make mistakes. We won't be perfect, but when we make a mistake, we'll fix it very quickly. So, for example, with USAID. One of the things we accidentally canceled very briefly was Ebola prevention. I think we all want Ebola prevention. So we restored the Ebola prevention immediately. And there was no...
That sounds inefficient. You didn't look at what you were doing. You started chopping things off. Then you recognized, oops, we need that. Bring it back. That's not efficiency. That's chaos. That's recklessness.
Corruption. But we do need to move quickly if we're to achieve a $1 trillion deficit reduction in financial year 2026. It requires saving $4 billion per day, every day, from now through the end of September. But we can do it, and we will do it. Thank you.
Would you have any questions of Elon?
Ask Elon what's up with the government. Don't ask the cabinet or the president. Just ask Elon how everything's going.
Elon, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Musk. I just wanted to ask you that President Trump put out a Truth Social today saying that everybody in the cabinet was happy with you. I just wondered if you had heard otherwise, and if you had heard anything about members of the cabinet who weren't happy with the way things were going.
Now, why this question? The people in the cabinet aren't happy with you. There are people in this room right now that told their workers not to reply to the Elon email. That stupid email where he sent it out to literally every single person and everyone in the military telling them to give me the 5 things you did this week. There are people in this room that told their workers not to reply to that because it's stupid. It's shockingly inefficient. And the people involved said, no, don't do that. They're going to put it into a giant AI. How are they going to read 2 million emails? AI is how they're going to read those 2 million emails, and then they're going to fire people based on an AI. Inefficient. Stupid.
If so, what are you doing to address those any dissatisfaction?
Hey, Elon, let the cabinet speak just for a second. Is anybody unhappy with Elon?
Is anybody unhappy with Elon?
Throw him out of here. Is anybody unhappy?
Some of these people told their people not to do what Elon said. And if you don't like Elon, you get tossed. Because he's in charge. He's the president. He runs this government now.
I will tell you, for the most part, I think everyone's not only happy, they're thrilled. So go ahead, Elon.
I'm grateful.
Continue telling everyone how the government functions.
Put together, I think, the best cabinet ever.
It's the richest cabinet ever.
Literally.
That's for
So,
sure.
and I do not give false praise. This is an incredible group of people. I don't think that such a talented team has actually
Richest,
ever been assembled.
wealthiest
I
cabinet
think
to
it's
ever
the
exist.
best cabinet that the country's ever had, and I think the company should be incredibly appreciative of the people in this room.
Mr.
Go
Musk.
ahead, please. Yeah.
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. Musk. Are there about half of the government employees so far appear to have responded to your request for what they've been doing over the past week? Is there a timeline in place for next moves for people being fired? And when can people expect to see results of them?
Yes. Well, to be clear, I think that email perhaps was misinterpreted as a performance review, but actually it was a pulse check review. Do you have a pulse?
God, he's dumb. So the email, the very important, the wildly misinterpreted email, where he sent out an email, the OPM sent out an email to 2 million federal employees, said, tell us what you did this past week. And he did that, not as a performance review. No, it was a pulse check to make sure you exist. If you can't reply to the email, it proves that you don't exist. I'm going to listen to him for another minute, and then I'm going to yell about it a little bit.
You have a pulse and 2 neurons. So if you have a pulse and 2 neurons, you can reply to an email. This is, I think not a high bar, is what I'm saying. This is, anyone can accomplish this? But what we are trying to get to the bottom of is we think there are a number of people on the government payroll who are dead, which is probably why they can't respond. And some people who are not real people, like they're literally fictional individuals that are collecting paychecks. Well, somebody's collecting paychecks on a fictional individual, so we're just literally trying to figure out, are these people real? Are they alive? And can they write an email? Which I think is a reasonable expectation for the American public would have at least that expectation of someone in the public sector.
He thinks there are lots and lots of dead people through some sort of fraud collecting paychecks from the United States government as a government employee that can't respond to an email. Okay, let me do a bit. Here you go. I'm going to be an evil hacker. Well, hang on. Okay, I'm an evil hacker. All right, follow me here. I'm an evil bad guy. I'm an evil bad guy hacker. I'm evil, Waldo. I'm a bad guy hacker. Okay, and what I'm going to do is start hacking. Where is my hack? I can't see the screen with my sunglasses on. Okay. So I'm hacking, right? I'm hacking. Oh yeah, look at me. I am stealing from the government database. Look at me. I'm in here. I'm hacking the government databases, and I'm crooked as hell. And I am an absolute criminal. I'm just going nuts here. I'm finding all the files. I'm downloading all the things. I'm stealing government databases, and then I find a contract that has gone on for a very long time. And I somehow create a fake person to collect that money. That money then goes into a bank account. The government pays people through direct deposit. They don't just give you pieces of large bags of cash. They direct deposit your money into a bank account. That bank account has a number and a routing number and an account number and a person's name attached to it. And that person, me, the awful monster hacker, takes that money out and then keeps it. And Elon thinks they can't respond to an email because he's an idiot. He's a moron. Elon is a moron. I got in trouble. I'm not really in trouble, but there was a wonderful person who commented on my last YouTube video and talked about how they enjoyed me and Thomas debating peacefully and decently, and not screaming at each other. And then they said, Waldo, I can't follow you because you said Elon's a moron. Moron suggests that he has the intellect of a child and that he doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'm like, yes, exactly. He has baby brain. Elon thinks that the criminals who have hacked into the government can't respond to his email. God, he's dumb. He thinks that this is a way to determine how many dead people are getting money from the government. There's a better way to do that. This plan will not accomplish what you think it's going to accomplish, Elon. Because you're an idiot, you put together a stupid plan. His simple brain said, if we just send out an email to everybody, then they'll send it back. And the ones who don't get fired. Simple brains like simple plans. Little things amuse little minds. Simple explanations are appreciated by simpletons. And that's what we've got here. We've got an absolute idiot running the government poorly. Elon Musk runs our government now, and he's doing a bad job because he is dumb. If you could hire accountants or use the accountants that we already have to determine how many dead people are receiving government paychecks, and I'm willing to bet it's not very many. Doge's saving page fixed old mistakes and added new ones. So, what have we got? Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency has more inflated savings claims on its digital wall of receipts. Like Trader Todd was saying, the real number is a third of what he says it is. Exactly. Tuesday's update to the federal website included inaccurate data, according to the NPR review, even as the group corrected prior errors. A day later, when speaking to President Trump's cabinet, Musk spoke about the effort to reshape the federal government. He said anyone who questions Doge savings can look at the digital receipts for themselves. He said, we won't be perfect. Great. We just heard him say that. The new numbers. Doge's savings page launched with a top-line claim of $55 billion saved with receipts that accounted for about $16 billion. So he's lying to you. And contract cancellations. This isn't even fraud or a waste or abuse. He just doesn't like the contract, so he canceled it. But an NPR review found the documented savings were grossly overstated, including an apparent $8 billion typo. I talked about that last week. They typoed B for an M. There was $8 million, and they called it $8 billion because they're fucking criminals. They lie to you all the time. In Tuesday's update, Doge's new grand total of $65 billion saved is unclear how the tally was achieved. The site added almost 1,200 new receipts that claimed to show another $4 billion in savings. But when NPR matched the claims to federal contracting data, the savings were essentially unchanged from the initial analysis, now about $2.3 billion. They're lying about the receipts. They're lying about the numbers. And it's fine because nothing matters. Facts don't matter anymore. We live in the post-fact world where Elon can just go on TV, stand literally above the cabinet and stand above the president and tell you 65 billion when it's actually 2. He'll sell you a fun story about the millions of dead people that are collecting checks, and he will never prove it. He will sell you a fun story about millions of illegals collecting money from Social Security. It's not true. There's no evidence to back that up. It's only going to get worse. At some point, if any of this were true, they would put those people in front of a judge. They would be prosecuting them. If you were the evil hacker that I described a few minutes ago, stealing government money, Elon would get together, if he were smart, forensic analysis of where those payments went. Tracking money is incredibly easy. Well, not easy, but it can be done. It's a thing that people are good at. There are people called forensic analysts who can do that. They can figure out where that money went. And then you can sue them. You can put them in jail. None of that is going to happen. The Doge will bring 0 charges against anyone ever. And that is a prediction that I am making right now. Yes, it is a prediction of the future. They will never put this information in front of a judge to have someone convicted. They're going to claim millions and millions of scammers have been scamming you, the American taxpayer, but they will never put anything in front of a judge. No, no, no. They will never bring any of this information, any of these receipts, into a court of law. Why? Because then that court of law will have a defender who will then do forensic analysis, and they will ask questions of the Doge. Who put this together? Where did this evidence come from? How did you get it? Who wrote this receipt? Here's an error in the receipt. What are you going to say about that? They can't stand up to scrutiny. Too risky, might get found out. Yeah, exactly, Valar. That would open them up to questions, to liability, to legal scrutiny. And they will never do any of that. They will just make vague claims towards people robbing you and fire whoever they want. They will make vague accusations and give you no evidence, or very little evidence. They will claim to have saved $65 billion when in fact the number is $2 billion. They'll scream about all the fraud and waste and abuse that they found, and they will put no one up for trial. Because they are charlatans, they are liars, they are grifters. They are not telling you true things. They are canceling whatever they want to cancel and then inflating the numbers. They're snake oil salesmen. Nothing else. This is why I call Elon a moron. This is why either he's an idiot who believes the things he's saying, or he's a charlatan. He's a criminal. It's the only two options, honestly. He can't be bumbling into this, or else he would. If he didn't know, if he is unwittingly wrong, you would show him evidence and he would change his mind. Or he's both. He's an idiot of a criminal. He's a criminal and an idiot. Could be both. But he couldn't be accidentally doing these things right now. He couldn't be accidentally telling you an inflated number. Because when you gave him the actual information, he would say, oh, okay, I see. Let's lower that number to 2 billion instead of 65. He's not going to do any of that because they are criminals. They are grifters. They are stealing. They are gutting the American system so that no judge will ever look at them. And that's where we're headed, to a place where Elon gets to do whatever he wants with the budget, with the money, with the Treasury, with the Social Security, with the Medicare, with Medicaid. He can do whatever he wants, and no one can challenge him. The court of public opinion is where they reign, not the court of law. They lose. Donald Trump loses literally. I mean, I think literally every single time he's in court. I think over the past 6 months, he started to win, not from his crimes or anything like that, but because Facebook settled, CBS settled, the ABC, I think, settled with him so that they can get on his good side. They could have drawn out the thing, but again, when he gets into evidence and court, he loses. Elon, if he had to put these receipts, Elon can't even get past NPR. NPR is proving that he's a liar. You think they can't prove him a liar in court? Of course they can. Which is why none of this will ever make it to court. None of this will make it there. He will make accusations toward the billions they saved, and it won't matter. He'll tell you, Donald Trump will come on and tell you a great story about a 250-year-old man who was collecting money. He'll never tell you who he was. He'll never tell you where that money went. You'll never get that money back because it didn't happen. He'll never put that person up for trial. Won't happen because then we would start investigating. And when the lawyers are allowed to investigate, they'll find out that Elon is a liar. Super fun. Forensic accounting. And what is it? How it's used. Let's look at that. Forensic accounting, super fun. Forensic accounting is a combination of accounting and investigative techniques used to discover financial crimes. Forensic accountants explain the nature of financial crimes to the courts. Forensic accountants trace funds, identify assets, and conduct asset recovery and perform due diligence reviews. Due diligence reviews are not a thing that you'll get from Doge. Doge is the opposite of due diligence reviews. Forensic accounting is used by the insurance industry to establish damages for claims. Elon Musk is doing, trust me, bro, we saved $65 billion. No, you can't look at it. No, I'm not going to show it to you. No, you're not going to find out where it came from. Yeah, you're right. It's not a fun, interesting bit. It's not dramatic, is the problem. Elon could hire forensic accountants to go into the government and check these things, but he hasn't because it's not fun. It's nerd shit. We all know how Elon feels about nerd shit. He hates it. And they fired the attorneys general who could put together a team. If you wanted the government properly to do what Elon's doing, you would have the attorneys general put together a team of forensic accountants, tell us ahead of time who you're going to investigate them, find out all the problems, put out the evidence, and put them up for trial. Elon's not going to do anything of that, and they fired the attorneys general. They fired the people who were finding the waste, the fraud, and the abuse. Social Security is already at 99% accurate. And I know that sounds crazy because the Republicans lie to you all day long. Social Security payment accuracy is over 99%. It says so right here. The Social Security Administration's payment accuracy is 99%. When he tells you that 250-year-olds are getting money, they're lying. The people in charge of this stuff already got rid of all the fraud, waste, and abuse that they can. Anything that Elon chops off now is because he doesn't like it. That's it. He doesn't like it. He doesn't understand it. He has created some sort of delusion, and he's chopping it off. They're already at 99% accurate with Social Security. I'm willing to bet some of the other agencies are slightly different. USAID is 100% accurate with what they're doing. He just doesn't like it. I had Thomas on last week, and he said, why are we giving condoms to Gaza? Because we want to. You just don't like it. That's not fraud. That's not waste. That's not abuse. You just don't like it, Elon. Elon doesn't understand why we're doing the things the government... Elon doesn't understand why the government is doing what it does, and he creates a delusion and then spreads fear of that delusion. It's not fraud to give other countries money. It's not. It's not abuse. It's not waste. We had a plan, and we gave them some money. That's part of the plan. You can dislike the plan. You can get mad at the plan. You can say this is a shit plan. By all means, Elon, say it's a shit plan. And then put together a different plan, and then cut it. Fine, great. But don't lie about it. Don't call it fraud, because it's not. Don't call it waste, because it's not. Don't call it abuse, because it's not. Gaza, Mozambique, it would be so funny if it wasn't so sad. Yeah, I know. It didn't go to Gaza. It went to Mozambique. But they don't know the difference. And then Donald Trump lied about the fucking number. In reality, we sent $50 million worth of condoms to Mozambique. What does Doge report? 50 million to Gaza. What does Donald Trump say? He says 100 million to Hamas, specifically. The Hamas. We found them. We went to the rubble. We found them and said, here's $100 million worth of condoms. Congratulations. They're idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. They make things up. If you don't like USAID, great. Say you don't like it. Don't lie about it. Doge is doing fraud by lying to you about how much they're saving. They're doing fraud by over-exaggerate, by not getting security clearances. They're abusing their power. And by firing people, then rehiring them, they're causing waste. Doge is the fraud, the waste, and the abuse. Because the actual government is more complicated than Elon can wrap his tiny brain around. And it is a tiny brain. Oh, and don't worry, the president, after this meeting, at the very end of this meeting, told the reporters what to write. Here you go. Let's listen to that.
Lawrence, say we did a great job, please. Okay? Say it was unbelievable.
Lawrence, say we did a great job, please. He's telling the reporter what to write. Tell everybody we did a great job. I'm going to need, I need that kind of energy. So Valor, I need you to tell everybody that I did a great job on stream today. Tell them I did such a good job. Doesn't matter if it's true. Doesn't matter what you think. I need you to tell people that. Okay, please. So go on over to YouTube, press the thumbs up button, whether you like it or not. Leave a comment telling me what a great job I did today. And KBP, if you're still here, I need you to tell me I'm doing such a great job, okay? Because then it'll be true. Tell everyone how great I am. It's sad. It's bad. So go on over to the YouTube. Tell me I did a good job. Thumbs up. Ring the bell. Tell everybody how great I am. Go on over to the Discord and force people to follow me on Discord. Stuff like that. Trick them into clicking the buttons. Thanks for all the real money that you just sent to me, Valor. I appreciate that. So what else happened this week? So as Trump mentioned at the beginning of that meeting, that was earlier in the week. I was busy all week in Michigan, as I described. So Zelensky came to the White House. What could possibly go wrong? Well, it could go very badly. I think we're going to watch all of this. Let's start at the beginning. There we go.
What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal.
Whoa, sorry. I had the speed up too high. Where's the speed? Playback speed. Normal. Let's go to normal. Let's go to 125.
What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me.
The hatred Zelensky has for why, Donnie? Why do you think he might dislike that guy? He invaded and he started killing his people. Maybe murdering his people is why he hates them.
To make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either.
God, he's dumb.
So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough.
So as we watch this, every time he says the word deal, he means Ukraine surrenders. That's what he means by deal. Ukraine surrender. So every time he says deal, that's what he actually means.
But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way.
You're never going to get Ukraine to surrender that way.
I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
That is insane. None of that. We gave them $90 billion worth of weapons to shoot at the invaders. And then they did. And then the bigger, more well-armed country of Russia was stopped from stealing the entire country. Putin promised to take the capital of Ukraine within a week. And it didn't happen because we gave them weapons to defend themselves, as you do for your allies. J.D. Vance is insulting our allies, Ukraine, and kissing the ass of our enemies, Russia. It's what Donald Trump has been doing for a very long time. Insult your allies and love your enemies. It doesn't make any sense. It's a bad way to do. Vance is a bullshit translator. Yeah, he is doing debate bro bullshit. And he said nonsense right there. He said a bunch of horse shit. And Zelensky is about to counter him with reality.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But you
God bless Donald Trump will stop him. Did you hear him say that? I heard him say it.
during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and
2014.
Yeah. So
I
he killed,
was not here.
Yeah, but,
That's exactly
but
right.
God, you're dumb. You have nothing to add to this fucking conversation because you're an idiot.
yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel. We signed ceasefire.
Ceasefire deal with Russia that Russia broke.
Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about?
Facts from Zelensky are not appreciated by Donald Trump and fucking J.D. Vance.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr.
are
President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come to the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media right now.
Litigate in front of the American media. What did J.D. Vance do about 2 minutes ago? He litigated it. He gave his side, which is the Russian side. He told you why you need to do what Russia says. He laid out a bullshit argument, a bullshit framing of everybody's miserable, everybody's dying, and you need to end this war by giving up. That is the litigation that J.D. Vance did a minute ago. And when he heard the other side, which is far more fact-based, he's like, hey, quit litigating. Debate bro tactic bullshit.
Now you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what?
You should be thanking the president. He just said, God bless America. And here's the 33 times that Zelensky thanked America and its U.S. leaders. J.D. Vance is a debate bro, which pisses me off, but I'm glad he earned his chops on 4chan, becoming a debate bro on the poll board. And he's reframing everything. Everything, if you frame it the right way, sounds bad. Did you know that that guy, that President Zelensky, has his troops shooting at Russians? They're shooting at Russians. They're shooting bombs. They're firing missiles at these guys. Unfucking believable. If you frame it a certain way, yeah, it seems like shit. But what you got to do is back up. Look at the big picture. What is the big picture? The big picture is that Russia invaded. Russia lied and signed a ceasefire agreement and then broke it. Russia is the aggressor here. J.D. Vance doesn't want it to be true. So it's just not true. He just won't look at it. He won't look at Russian aggression because he doesn't want to see it. That's where we are with the president and J.D. Vance. They don't want to see what they don't want to see, so they ignore it. They are anti-reality. They're not here to bring you facts and logic. They're here to bring you the narrative that they want. They will write the narrative and they will give it to you. Is it based on facts? No. Is it based on logic? No. Is it based on reality? No. That doesn't matter. That's not important. They don't give a shit for that kind of stuff. They want you to feel what they want you to feel. And they will tell you what to feel.
Problems we have.
I have been to.
Come on.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
What has that got to do with Russia invading him? Yes, he has problems bringing people into the military. Russia has killed them all in their invasion. But again, verbal judo, flip it onto something else. You have problems getting people to sign up for your war where people are dying. Yeah, no shit. Are you going to give him weapons and make them feel better? They are our ally, JD. Are you going to make them feel better? Are you going to give them a way to defend themselves? No, because you're on Russia's side. That's why.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions.
Donald Trump is not going to protect them. He's promising to take away protections. That's why he's upset. That's why he's coming here disrespecting you, J.D. Vance, because you are taking away the thing he needs.
Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You
God bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
All politics is based on feelings. Waldo read again.
We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering
position to
honest
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what I'm
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and very
telling you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
cards.
Right now, you don't.
You're
playing cards. You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
World War III will start when Russia keeps stealing from other people. And Donnie doesn't get it because he's on Russia's side in World War III. He wants Russia to win. He wants Russia to take. Why does he want Russia to take parts of Ukraine? Because then on the global stage, it becomes okay to steal from other people. Johnny wants to take Greenland. He wants to take the Panama Canal. He wants to take Canada. He wants to take parts of Mexico. He wants to take. And if Russia is allowed to take, then he'll be allowed to take. If Russia is stopped and the entire globe says, no, you're not allowed to take other people's land, then Donnie doesn't get to take other people's land. He sees that. He recognizes it. He knows that if the globe says no more taking other people's shit, then Donald Trump doesn't get to take other people's shit. And that's his whole jam. That's his entire personality. Take from someone else. There was remember Trump University? They took your money. They gave you nothing, and then that got shut down by a court. There was a Trump foundation that took people's money and promised to give it to charities. They never did. They just took the money. That got dissolved by a court because they were just taking money. And now he wants to take other countries, and he wants to take Ukraine's minerals. He wants Vladimir Putin to win, take part of Ukraine, then Donald Trump can come in there and take the minerals. He wants to take.
And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. It's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No.
33 times he said it, J.D. Vance, but facts don't matter to the debate bro at the moment.
In this entire meeting, have you said thank you?
Today.
You went to.
He said God bless Donald Trump for trying to end this war.
Pennsylvania and campaign for the opposition in October, offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
He did go to Pennsylvania to suggest that people should vote for Kamala Harris because she would have helped our ally. She would not have been on Russia's side. That's just basic politics.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking
No,
loudly.
don't.
Your country's
no.
in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
They're in big trouble because Russia invaded them and you are supporting them, Donnie.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
I-
You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said thank
stupid
you.
president, $350 billion.
You
That's a lie. 90 billion in equipment and 90 billion we've promised them more. 180 billion. Not 350. He made up that number so that he could steal more of their resources. That's why he's saying the bigger number. It'll be 400 billion. It'll be 500 billion. And then when he finally gets the deal where they surrender and Russia steals from them, and then we start stealing their natural resources, we'll have to steal $350 billion worth of it instead of 180 billion. He's lying.
We
voted
gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West
If you
Virginia?
didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
in 3
Yes, it would have been over if we didn't back up our ally. That's what allies are for.
days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
accept
times
that there,
thank you
accept
to
that,
American people.
accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's
He's not wrong. You're literally lying, J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, literal fucking liar, is reframing things so that Russia will win.
good for the American people to see what's going on.
understand, sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low on
know.
soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't, please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said,
you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
There was
Russia disregarded the last ceasefire. Why would you push to have a ceasefire that they're just going to lie about and break?
Doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what
that
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was with
wasn't
a
you.
guy named Biden, who was not a smart person.
But this
That
is
was
your-
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins.
He's writing headlines. He should have been a newsman. Just, Obama gave sheets. Trump gave javelins. He's writing headlines. He wants you to tweet that. He wants that to be the buzzword. He wants that to be a new bumper sticker. Obama gave sheets. I gave javelins. Obama also gave lots and lots of military aid, but didn't want to go to war with Russia, so he didn't push for it.
You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards, but without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry, here.
It'll be a tough deal to make, because the attitudes have to change.
When he says deal, he means surrender. It's just going to be a tough surrender to make because his attitude is not, he's not ready to surrender. Zelensky is not prepared to surrender. So the deal, which is just surrender, isn't going to work. How are you going to surrender with that kind of attitude, Zelensky? That's the question Donald Trump is asking him. How are we going to get a surrender out of you if you're being so defiant? How can you possibly surrender to Russia right now if you're being so stubborn about trying to fight them and get back the land they stole from you? Russia is the aggressor here. They are the ones doing the harm. He is trying to Zelensky is trying to protect himself. He's trying to protect his country, and people who aren't on Russia's side can see that. Donald Trump doesn't want to see that. Donald Trump does not want to see the Russian aggression, so he doesn't see it. J.D. Vance does not want to see Russian aggression, so they don't see it. It's almost, I know this is shocking, they have a blind spot. I'm going to turn this into a short. So, Donald Trump does not want to see Russian aggression, so he won't see it. J.D. Vance does not want to see Russian aggression, so he won't see it. They have a blind spot that they can turn on and off anytime they want. If they want to see Zelensky doing bad things, they will. If they don't want to see Russia doing bad things, they won't see it. Conservatives have a blind spot that they can turn on and off anytime they want. And that makes diplomacy very difficult, because Zelensky's in there saying true things, saying actual facts, pointing at things that are happening, and J.D. Vance just won't see it. He doesn't want to see it. And that makes diplomacy very difficult. Hey, look. Grok, Elon Musk's AI, finds significant similarity between Trump's ceasefire negotiations and failed concessions made to Hitler. Trump's ceasefire negotiations with Putin resembled World War II appeasement, given Putin's history of breaking ceasefires, the AI said. Even the AIs are against you, Donnie. Elon Musk's Grok AI chatbot has drawn an alarming historical parallel. President Trump's combative meeting with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, where Trump scrapped a deal that could have ended the Russia war, bears a significant similarity to the appeasement policies towards Hitler that led to World War II. He promised us World War III. Just a moment ago, you heard Trump say, "You're getting World War III. You're starting World War III." Donald Trump said while starting World War III. The AI remarks surfaced after Friday's meeting, where Trump repeatedly berated Zelensky's, downplayed the threat of Russian President Vladimir Putin, and warned the Ukraine leader who was gambling with World War III as he was starting World War III. As Zelensky tried to maintain diplomacy, the tense exchange left many arguing that Trump himself is steering the world towards catastrophe. When user X asked Grok AI whether Trump's push for ceasefire with Putin resembled a failed World War II appeasement strategy, the chatbot did not hold back. Okay, so we got to do it in a robot voice. It seems likely that Trump's ceasefire negotiations with Putin resemble World War II appeasement, given Putin's history of breaking ceasefires. Research suggests both involve compromising with aggressive leaders, risking further demands rather than lasting peace. Beep boop, I am a chatbot. The chatbot compared Trump's push for Ukraine to surrender territory and drop NATO ambitions to the failed appeasement of Hitler in the 1930s, which only emboldened the dictator. The policy of appeasement in the 1930s involved Britain and France making territorial and other concessions to Adolf Hitler to avoid war. This strategy, notably the Munich Agreement of 1938, aimed to satisfy Hitler's demands, such as the annexation of Sudetenland, in hope of preventing a larger conflict. However, it failed, and Hitler continued his expansion. Exactly. Thank you, Valor. I'm working on. I'm quite talented. If I don't gas me up, who will? I appreciate you. Thank you. Sudeti, that's my land. Okay, you're from the Sudetenland? That's cool. Never been there. But the point is, we gave Hitler the thing that he said he wanted to stop doing a war, and then he lied and kept doing the war. That's exactly what we're going to get from Putin. Putin has said, hey, I just want this Crimea. I just want this Crimean Peninsula. I need a warm water port. Okay, it's very important to my country. And the people there are already speaking Russian anyway, because I filled it with Russian immigrants and told them to speak Russian and say that they're part of Russia. And now it's Russia, you see. And Obama went with it because he appeased him. Obama appeased him and said, okay, we don't want a war. We're going to avoid a war by just letting you have the thing. Now he's taking more land, exactly as planned. That's your part of the country. That's interesting. Yeah, I've never, the Sudetenland, very fun. Good luck. So Russia will take more. And to avoid war, we'll let them. And then Donnie will take more. And then to avoid war, we'll let him. That's where we are now. It's just stealing from everybody that you can. The more you steal, the more likely people are to push against you. And then the more likely we are to start a war. Donald Trump is going to get us into World War III over this bullshit. He is. He's going to, and we're going to be on Russia's side. From the weaker nations. Yeah, exactly. He sees the smaller nations as something that you can take from. That's how the economy works in Donald Trump's brain. Take from someone smaller. And the AIs even know it. So that is our amazing, super cool war update. Let's see. I've got a couple of funnier little things to look at today. But if you're watching, if you're paying attention, hop into chat. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. Go on over to the Discord and leave links. Go on over to the YouTube page and watch the show there. You can leave comments and tell me how terrible I am. You can press the subscribe button. You can ring the bell. You can do all those fun things. All the buttons are fun. To be fair, that is how it worked for the most part, at least at the top. Yeah, exactly. That's how world history always has been. One country is big and strong, and once a thing, they take it. We were hopefully moving diplomatically and through things like NATO, where you have a an agreement, a treaty between countries that says if Russia invades you, we will all band together to fight them. That prevents them from stealing. If everybody is in a system of rules where you're not allowed to steal stuff, everybody benefits. Russia hates that. Donald Trump hates that. They love stealing stuff. That's their whole jam. Stealing things, taking stuff that doesn't belong to them. It makes them feel good. That's how they think that the world operated, and it used to. Hopefully, I would suggest we have a society where you're not allowed to steal stuff. We should have military agreements where nobody's allowed to steal things from other countries. Stealing their land, killing their people, taking their peninsulas because you want it. That way is society. But Donald Trump and Putin are anti-society. They're on board for just taking the things they want. And that way leads to war. And I don't want war. That would be a bad thing. What do we got? Okay. Did you guys watch the super fun, clearly amazing video of AI Donald Trump for what he wants for Gaza, which he also wants to take? So this is the Gaza thing. I know this is a few days old, but I wasn't around to talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it now, damn it. I'm not going to play the music because it's a live stream and they kick you off of live streams for music. But here is Donald Trump's plan, an AI video for Gaza, which he also wants to take. So it's terrible. It's ruined. It's bombed out. It's destroyed. How did it get that way, Donnie? Donnie, how did it get destroyed? We gave Israel the bombs that they dropped on them. So here it is, ruined and destroyed. Oh no, it's so terrible. What should we do? We should turn it into a resort. An amazing, super beautiful resort built by Donald Trump and owned by Donald Trump, and where he charges you money to go there. And then when you go there, you give him the money. That's his plan. And it's going to be a great city filled with fake Elons eating food and trans belly dancers. Now you got to pause on this one. Trans rights, trans liberation. I'm here for it. Donnie is absolutely pro-trans with these people, these bearded, boobed belly dancers. Beard, mustache, booba, belly, dancing. Pro-trans. Donald Trump, officially. Pro-trans. He is. I mean, you can't argue with it. He's posted this himself. He's pro-trans. And so am I. I'm glad we have that in common now. And all the people. And look, golden statues. Giant Dubai. Yeah, he wants it to be. Yeah, you're right. He wants it to be like Dubai. Because that's the way he wants the entire world to be. All the beautiful people. All the money. Oh, yeah, money. All the children. And there's a giant Trump Gaza hotel. Go there. Spend money. Elon again eating some food and a giant golden graven image. evangelicals, Christians, listen. That's a graven image. That's idolatry. You have an entire commandment telling you not to do exactly that. I'm going to need the Christians to know more about their religion than me. Is that too much to ask? Is that fucking too much to ask? That the Christians follow their rules? I'm not even telling you to follow my rules. Like, follow your own rules. We wouldn't have to send aid to Ukraine if Russia hadn't decided to violently invade their country. Yeah, exactly. But you won't ever hear a Republican blame Russia because they've been trained not to. Exactly. T. Right on the money. They are blind to the things that they want to be blind to. They're blind to this fact. T is spreading facts, but the conservatives can't see the facts because they have a blind spot. And just like this graven image we've got going on right here, they're going to be blind to that as well. They're not going to see it. They can't see the trans people in this video. They can't see the golden statue as idolatry because they don't care about their own rules. They are based entirely on feelings. They feel like Donald Trump should just own Gaza and build a fucking hotel there, and then we can all go vacation there, and it'll all be beautiful. They want to turn it into Dubai. They want to turn all of America into Dubai, where if you have enough money, you can do whatever you want. And if you can't do what you want, it's because you don't have enough money. You haven't worked hard enough to get the money. You see, if you were smarter and stronger and more powerful, you could get the money. And if you have the money, then you can do whatever you want. And you're right. You're correct. You are perfectly legal in every single thing you do if you have the money to back it up. It's okay if Elon buys the government, buys the presidency, buys the treasury, puts his people involved in there because he has the money to back it up. We don't live in a democracy anymore. We live in a capitalist hellscape. I think you call it an oligarchy, where the people with the money make the rules, and the people with the money make the decisions, and the people with the money decide where we spend our money and how everything operates. Oligarchy is the fancy word for it, but I'm calling it a capitalist hellscape. Speaking of capitalist hellscapes, Donald Trump proposes 5 million gold card to wealthy immigrants. If you have the money, you can just buy citizenship. If you have the money, you can just buy a green card. Oops, wrong button. President Trump on Tuesday unveiled a new pathway to residency, a gold card aimed at wealthy foreigners willing to pay millions for the right to live in the U.S. It's just Dubai. If you have the money, you can do anything you want. That term is a play on the green card, more officially known as the permanent residency, which allows non-citizens to live and work permanently in the U.S. Green cards are most frequently awarded to foreigners who marry U.S. citizens or those who receive one through their employer, with the latter process taking the average of 3 years to complete, according to the Cato Institute. So you have to work hard to get a green card. But if you already have the money, you can just buy a gold card. Buying everything is Trump's plan for everything. Buy it. Buy. Steal. Money. SpongeBob, it's all about money, me boy. Money. That's what it's all about. Nothing else. There is no value that Donald Trump won't sell. There is no guideline he won't break for $1. There is no guardrail he won't break to make a buck. And he will buy the next election. He will put people in place for the next election. Since he's in charge of the federal government now, he and Elon are going to break the elections. They're going to break them. 2026 is the next election. And I'm going to be here. I'm going to be watching it. Come watch it with me as Elon hacks it. And not even subtly. He'll be hacking it from inside the house. He'll be inside the government, changing the rules, changing the laws, telling you what is and isn't legal and who is and isn't allowed to vote. And then they will chop people off the voter registration 5 seconds before they're allowed to vote, and they'll call it fraud. They'll call it abuse. And it'll be over. They're going to ignore the courts. They're going to ignore anyone who challenges them because they have the money to do so. And that is the only power that matters anymore. It won't matter that this is idolatry. He'll just pay to make it not. Maybe he can pay the Vatican to change the commandment about idolatry. Good. Don't worry. The Democrats are here to save us. Don't worry. Here they are, guys. The Democrats are here to save us with what they did in February. I can't even read it. It's so fucking small. Open image, a new tab. Maybe then I can zoom in. Yeah, now I can zoom in. Okay. Jeez. Okay. What did the Democrats do in February? I'm glad we're here, everybody. This is now we can read it. We can find out what they did. Put it up on the screen properly. Every House Democrat voted against Trump's budget that slashes Medicaid. I mean, except for the ones that didn't show up. But yes, they all did not vote for it. House Democrats introduced a Taxpayer Data Protection Act to permanently protect the American people's data from Elon, Trump, and Musk, which won't go anywhere. It won't get passed in the House and it won't get passed in the Senate. Democratic attorneys filed a lawsuit to stop Elon Musk from accessing America's data. That's nice. It's going to take months. Arizona Democrats passed legislation to provide funding for free school lunches in the state. But why isn't everybody doing this all the time? Why did you? I mean, that's kind of unimpressive. Like, that's ballpark, bottom line, the least you could do. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer unveiled $3 billion road funding plan to improve the state's roads, bridges, and transit. Okay, good. That's like your job. Ken Jenkins won a special election on Winchester County Executive, soundly defeating his Trump-backed opponent. Okay, so he won a small election. Very nice. But is that helping? I mean, I guess it's helping, but it's a little underwhelming. You know what I mean? Every single Senate Democrat voted against confirming Tulsi Gabbard, and who still got elected or still got appointed. And let's see, the DNC filed a brief in the Ninth Circuit to counter Republican attempts to outlaw most mail-in and early voting in Nevada, and then they will lose. John Ossoff successfully pushed the White House to restore HBCU scholarships. Okay, nice. Josh Shapiro successfully took legal action to restore Pennsylvania's funding after the Trump administration freeze. You see how nerd shit all of these are? They are good things, but they're nerd shit. You need to be impressing the people. This does not impress the people. Sean Faircloth won a special election in Maine's House 24th District, strengthening the Democratic legislative majority in Maine. Josh Shapiro, no, he's not related to the other Shapiro. Senator Mark Warner for Senate Democrats forced the Trump administration to back down on the hiring freeze of some federal employees. Some we complained, and slightly they did a little bit less of the fascism. Great. Thanks, guys. Every single Senate Democrat voted against confirming Kash Patel as the FBI director, who is now the FBI director. Good job, guys. Democratic Attorney General sued the Trump administration for defunding medical and public health research. Okay. Yeah, and that'll take 6 months and then you'll lose. J.P. Pritzker signed Karina's Law to protect survivors of domestic violence and ensure their abusers won't have easy access to firearms. Okay, nice. That's not big stuff. You're not changing anybody's minds. And that's the problem I think we're having. Democrats have forgotten that it's their job to change people's minds, to agree with them. If you want people to stop supporting Donald Trump, you need to message to them. That's why I talked about bumper stickers. I haven't created the bumper stickers yet, but I'm going to create a bumper sticker thing on the Discord. I'll do that today or tomorrow. Bumper stickers. Short, pithy, leftist ideas. All politics are based on feelings. Nice, easy, short, pithy. I did an entire video about this. Editor Waldo will put that video right here on the cards. Editor Waldo. He's a terrible, grumpy old man, but you wouldn't like him. Streamer Waldo is cool, but Editor Waldo, he's a grump. He's a grouch. Short, pithy little things to convince people to pay attention to you. This ain't it. Dems, we are upset with you for not doing anything. And maybe we're wording it wrong. We're not upset with you for not doing anything. Those are things you did. I like all those things. You have to make it cooler. You have to make it more interesting. You have to be in the people's faces with the stuff they want to hear. You need bumper stickers. You need short, pithy, left-leaning ideas that people can repeat and say to their friends and post on social media. Short, pithy, left. That's what you need. Because the right has short, pithy wrong. Drill, baby, drill. It's wrong and it's a bad idea, but it sounds good. Makes them feel good. Makes short, thought-terminating cliches that the right uses to win arguments. You need thought-creating cliches on the left. Do a better job, Democrats. You're doing a bad job explaining things. You're doing a bad job communicating. That's your entire job. Communicate to the people about how awful the things are that Donald Trump is doing and make things you could do better. Propaganda, preferably without the dishonesty. Yeah, exactly. You need short, pithy, correct. Do that. This is not short. This is not pithy. It is correct, however. And we get to the usual joke. This is the meme. How can anybody tell me how much a good coat costs? Marx writes all of this. This is how much it should cost. And he says, what the fuck is a yard of linen? You need to not write this. This is this. You see how they are so similar? This is what all the Dems did. And it's why you should vote for them. Okay, great. Explain it to them in a better way. The people in the middle aren't paying attention. They're not magical enlightened centrists. Enlightened centrism doesn't exist. They're just not paying attention. The people, the grillers, the people watching the football season is over. The Super Bowl happened. They're looking for something to watch. Give them something more interesting. Give them a little bit of drama. AOC and Representative Crockett bring some drama. Put them on the stage. Put them in front of the TV cameras. Let them talk about how Democrat ideas are better. And you'll get people to pay attention. You need to be changing people's minds, Democrats, not creating blocks of constituents. The black voting bloc, the Hispanic voting bloc, the left-leaning voting bloc, the Southern union workers voting bloc, the Northeastern pipe fitters union voting bloc. Get your brain out of this demographic. They've got demographic brain. And when you listen to them talk, and I listen to them talk, you probably don't, and you shouldn't. They're stupid and they're annoying. But they talk in demographic blocks. This demographic says this, and this demographic of black people in Georgia want this, and so we're going to point our message at this demographic block within Georgia. Stop fucking thinking like that. Tell the people in the middle what you're going to do better. Change their minds. Abandon the demographic blocks. Tell them how you're going to make their lives better. And not with a reduction to the amount of the taxes that are paid on a Pell Grant's percentages. It's nonsense. It's nerd shit. Small business loans. Bullshit. Tell them you're going to give them health care. I'm going to give you health care. Not health insurance. Not a committee that's going to look into the information about how to access health insurance. No, fuck off. I'm going to give you health care. I'm going to tax the billionaires and give you medicine. I'm going to tax the billionaires and give you a doctor visit. That would get the middle on board. That would get them on board. They would like that. They would love it. But now I'm just ranting. And I think I've run out of things to rant about today. What else is going on? Oh, okay. Yeah. I know it is a very high bar. They don't understand why they're losing. But every step away every step to the left is a step away from the big donors. The Dems can't afford to do that. They need money. And that's the problem. They're captured by capital, just like everyone else. I'm captured by capital. I don't want to go to work and fucking make a bunch of money for a company who keeps most of it and pays me very little, but I have to, because we live in a capitalist system. I recognize that capitalism is an important thing that I'm on board for, but I don't want it to run the entire government. I don't want it to be the most important thing ever. Big money in politics, Bernie was so right. So yes, every step you take towards Bernie is a step away from the big donors. And the Dems can't afford that. They need that money because they're addicted to it. They're addicted to the money. They have to get elected so that they can continue to insider trade. Nancy Pelosi is incredibly wealthy from insider trading. And she can't afford to take a step towards Bernie. She can't afford to take a step towards the left. No. She would lose money if she took a step to the left. She would lose capital power if she took a step to the left. Kamala would have lost donors if she protected trans rights, if she promised to protect trans rights. If you move to the left, you lose money. Capitalism is running amok in our country right now. We can't have good things because no one wants to pay for it. Capitalism is overpowered right now. We need to balance that shit out. The only thing that can balance capitalist power is a government. And our government has been captured by money. We can't get good people in government because it takes so much damn money to get into the government. So they're in charge. The lobbyists run everything. The donors tell the president what to do. Elon Musk bought the entire presidency and the treasury and the cabinet meetings, and he's in charge now. Runs everything because of money. We need to change that up a little bit. We need to wrestle some of the power back away from the people with all the billions of dollars. And to do that, you have to move left. Sorry. That's exactly why I said we should make the first radical step abolishing currency, or at least stop pretending it's finite. Because when even the people supposed to be in charge, held by the balls in the capital, we have been swimming in the corruption sauce for a while. Well, we still need a currency. I mean, we have to have currency. But we need some people to say, hey, capitalism is running amok. And I think we might get that over the next few years. As Donald Trump's failures continue to mount, as the lies from Doge will be seen by the people in the middle, they might get grumpy. When the price of gas and eggs keeps rising, when the tariffs start destroying the economy, when Elon goes to Fort Knox and wrecks the entire global economy, people might notice. Those people in the middle who aren't paying attention, that I was talking about him earlier, will notice. And if we're lucky, we'll have a left-leaning Bernie type, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, to come out there and say, listen, this is because the government is captured by money. You need two separate things. You need capital and you need government. They can't intermingle. If they get too much all up in each other's faces, they stop functioning properly. The government becomes worthless, and the capitalists control everything. That's not good. We don't want to go the other direction either, where the government controls everything and tells the market how much to produce. I don't want to do that either. I don't want the government telling a company to produce 700 skateboards this month because that's how much they need to produce, and then give it away to the people. That's stupid. That's bad. That is also too much power for the government. We need to balance the things out. We can't balance them out because one side has more power than the other. So we have to drag that power back. We have to trick them. We have to beat them into submission somehow. And that's why I would suggest that I'm a market socialist. And that is the ideology that I would subscribe to. There needs to be a market for skateboards, for cool t-shirts, for important things. But the more important it is to your human life, the more it shouldn't be on the market. Medicine, oxygen, housing, food. Those are the kinds of things I'm upset with, being for profit. And I would like to change that up a little bit. And we would need a government to control those kinds of things. But we don't get to have that. We have to have government over the money, for the money, by the money. And that's what we got now. And that's where we are. And with that, I'll leave you for today. Today, I had a very good stream. Thanks for being here, Valor. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody who's chatting. Thanks for everybody who was watching. It is fun to come on here and tell you what I'm thinking, tell you what I'm feeling. If you want to do the same, you can do so. Go to that link right there. Go to the YouTube. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. Go on over to the Discord and leave some links. If you've got a cool story that you would like me to take a look at, you can do that at the Discord. I think I spelled it right. D-I-S-C-O-R-D. I did. The robot is slowing. The robot is being slow. I think I spelled it right. But you can go over to that Discord, leave a link, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling, argue with the people who are also in that Discord. It'll be a good time. And if you've got something to talk about, let me know. I'll bring it up on screen. We'll talk about it. We'll feel it all out together. It'll be a good time. Until then, I will be back on Wednesday. So fun programming note. I might have my jacket and tie for my Comic-Con costume tomorrow. Or no, I think it arrives on Monday. I'll put it on Wednesday. We'll give it a look. We'll check out my fit for Harry Dubois for Comic-Con. And then Friday is Comic-Con. So on Friday, I'm going to shave all of this off and then have a Harry Dubois costume on. For Saturday's stream, and that'll be fun. And I'll take some photos and I'll put them up on the thing as a beard groomed not on Wednesday, but on Saturday. So on Wednesday, I'll get the coat and the tie. Then on Friday, I'll go to Comic-Con, and then I'll Emerald City Comic-Con. Then I'll take some photos, take some pictures, do a whole thing. I'll get some photos of it. I'll put it out on the Discord. Then on Saturday, I'll stream as Harry Dubois with the shave right here, and I'll have the jacket and the thing on. It'll be a good time, I think. So that's Wednesday's stream and then Saturday's stream. So that is the plan. Please come by, come say hello. If you see me at Comic-Con, be sure to say hi and then get a picture, I guess. And that's it for me. I will be back on Wednesday unless the Gestapo kicks in my door and drags me away. So goodbye.